Hi everyone, last lesson, we almost made it. Yesterday we looked at solving by factoring. Today we're going to solve our quadratic equations by undoing. Now this method isn't actually new. We've been solving all of our equations by undoing. There's just going to be one extra step with these equations, and that's to cancel the power. Taking a look at my first example, my goal is to get x all alone, so that I know what value of x will make this equation true. So the first thing that I want to cancel is that minus 13. I'm going to do that by adding 13 to both sides of the equation. Canceling that minus 13 with a plus 13, I get x squared equals 81. Now, what does it mean to square something? It means that you multiply something by itself. So to cancel the square, we use what's called a square root. But really all we're thinking about is what number, when I multiply it by itself, gives me 81. And the answer is 9. But there's another answer as well, because when we take negative 9 times negative 9, we also get a positive 81. So we get two answers for our quadratic equations, just like we saw yesterday when we were factoring. There is a shortcut to write this. There is a symbol that you can use. It's a plus or minus symbol, which means exactly what it says, positive 9 or negative 9. Of course, you can always just leave your answer like this. There's no need to use the plus or minus sign. I just thought I would show it to you in case you liked it and wanted to try and use it. So our first equation, we needed to start by canceling the adding or subtracting. In this equation, we don't have any, but we do have multiplication. So I'm going to cancel that first on this one. Canceling those 2's leaves me with x squared equals 200 divided by 2 is 100. So now to get that x all alone, we're going to take the square root of both sides and think about what number, when I multiply it by itself, gives me 100. And that's going to be two answers, both a positive and a negative 10. If you don't like that plus or minus sign, you can always write it out as 10 and negative 10. Of course, either order, you could write the negative value first as well. This one we have both addition and multiplication. So just like our normal equations that didn't have a power, we're going to cancel that 5 first. We're going to subtract that from both sides, leaving us with negative, and if it helps you to organize your work, put that 1 there. Remember, when you don't see a number that's being multiplied by a variable, you are multiplying by negative 1. Negative 11 minus 5 is the same thing as negative 11 plus negative 5. It's a lot easier to add than subtract. So if we spend $11 and we spend 5 more, we spent $16. To get that x squared all alone, we're going to need to cancel that negative 1. So I'm going to divide both sides, leaving me with my x squared. And my negative 16 divided by negative 1 gives me a positive 16. Finally, to cancel that square, I'm going to take the square root of both sides. What number, when I multiply it by itself, gives me 16? Positive or negative 4. Last example. Very similar to the one before this, we've got adding and multiplying. So we're going to cancel that adding 7 by subtracting it from both sides, leaving me with 3x squared equals 22 minus 7 is 15. Canceling that times 3 with division, I get x squared equals 5. Now this time when we think about what number times itself gives us 5, we don't get a nice answer. There isn't an integer that when you multiply it by itself, you get 5. So what we're going to do is leave it in radical form. That's a square root sign. We're going to put that plus or minus, or again, you could write them each out, but we're just going to leave it as the square root of 5. All right, we are done. You made it. This is your last new piece of material for distance learning. Quiz on solving quadratics tomorrow, and if you are passing my class after that, you are free for the summer. I hope that you guys have been able to take care of yourselves. I hope with the state of Minnesota opening up a little bit that you've been able to see people and socialize. That is extremely important, especially after the social isolation for so long. I hope that you are all able to enjoy the sunshine this summer. Hopefully we get a lot of it. I hope that you get quality family time, and I hope that you all come say hi to me in the fall when we get to regather in large groups. Please take care of yourselves and feel free to contact me over the summer if you need anything. I am here for you. Bye, everyone.